Alien Romulus is the ninth entry in the iconic sci-fi horror franchise spawned by the mind of Ridley Scott in 1997. In this installment set in between Alien and its sequel Aliens, directed by James Cameron, we follow a group of young space colonizers condemned to waste their lives away on a planet under a regime that has left them scarred and orphaned. Director Fede Alvarez gets the assignment and delivers and builds on the best aspects of that original film by creating a set of easy to root for but still flawed characters. Going into it, just to be transparent, this was arguably my most anticipated film of the year, and I really got what I wanted out of it. A compelling lead with a great supporting cast that is simply trying to survive by being clever in an unrelenting and unforgiving world. If you don't like jump scares, there might be a few too many for you in Alien Romulus. You might even have a distaste for how this film ties itself into the franchise by being, a legacy sequel and all, with a particular character that I don't want to spoil. I didn't mind either of these things, though the first half of the film is definitely stronger than the second by quite a big margin. I don't care though, because the thrills of experiencing this film overshadowed some of the logical inconsistencies that are tough to talk about without getting into spoilers already. But without giving anything away, the Xenomorphs definitely feel like a smaller threat for the sake of some character moments at times compared to maybe some of the other entries in the franchise. But Alvarez really tapped into the essence of what made that first film so special with this one. It's back to the basics. No bullshit, just survival. Plus there's the human versus android dilemma in this as well. There's a recurring theme about being left behind and what family means. All of that just really worked for me, and it might not work for you, but when spectacle meets good characters in a fun setting, well, that's just a good movie. I love the facehuggers too. The creature design overall is quite well done, even if it maybe goes a step too far towards the end there. I don't want to spoil anything, of course. The cinematography is stellar as the setting is in and around the atmosphere of a planet that is shaded from sunlight. So ascending into the air with a spaceship as an escape towards brighter and greener pastures just works. And then everything inside the ship also just looks right. Backstories for the characters don't feel uninspired or too cliched, even if they're very relevant for how they handle every situation. To be the standouts above Kaylee Spania's Rain, a smart but down on her luck orphan, and her stepbrother Andy, played by David Johnson, a malfunctioning android who has to face projections of the worst capabilities of his kind that other characters in the group have suffered under and from. The rest of the cast works well too, even if the trailers have spoiled the fate of the one or the other, unfortunately, so stay clear of the trailers if you haven't seen them already. I enjoyed that Romulus is somewhere between Alien and Aliens action-wise. It's not like there's a shootout at every possible moment or just the xenomorph stalking in the darkness in the background. It's a great mix of both. Fede Alvarez is no stranger to gore, as his 2013 Evil Dead remake already illustrated perfectly, but I quite like how much he gets to do here, even though I feel like there's still another step that he could have unleashed on these characters, but being a Fox and Disney property overall probably dampened, a bit of that part of the film. But the film feels modern in the best way possible, and there's none of that plastic CGI that we have had to get used to over the last couple of years, but more along the lines of like The Creator, Batman, and other films of its nature that still feel grounded within their sci-fi worlds. It's a smart choice to begin the story on a planet to really make sure that we get that these characters are caught as fish out of water in a place in space where you cannot hear them scream. Great stuff. Sometimes the narrative is slowed down a bit for the sake of set pieces and moments, which I thought was fine because most moments really worked for me, but my biggest gripe with it would still be that certain returning character that has some rough de-aging on his face. I anticipate some people are really gonna hate on that, but I didn't love it. Didn't hate it either. Within the Aliens franchise, this movie actually ranks at spot number 2 for me, slightly ahead of James Cameron's Aliens, but the original Alien is still in another league. I'll leave a ranked list below, so also let me know what you thought of the film and what your favorite within the franchise is, maybe outside of the original Alien. All that praise and glaze leads me to a 9 out of 10 for Alien Romulus. We'll talk spoilers on Monday on Quiet on Set. Give that a watch if you're interested. There's a ton to talk about. And then also don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. I promise I'll try and be a bit more consistent on this channel. I just appreciate you watching. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.